Let's turn attention to Kaduna State, where the Zazzau Emirate is still in mourning following Friday's collapse of a section of the central mosque that left at least 10 persons dead. The Emir of Zazzau has now ordered a temporary closure of the mosque as investigations into the cause of the incident commences. TVC News correspondent Lupe Asom reports.
In the heart of Zaria, a place steeped in tradition and history, a solemn hush has settled over the Zazzau Emirate Central Mosque. This much venerated mosque, constructed over 100 years ago, has long been more than just a place of worship. It has been a cultural and spiritual hub, a center of learning and a symbol of unity for the Zazzau Emirate. But tragedy struck last Friday when a section of this mosque collapsed, claiming the lives of 10 worshippers and injuring many others. Among the bereaved is Nuruddin Haruna, who lost his dad in the incident. The void left by his father's absence casts a shadow over his family, mirroring the grief of the entire community. Funeral prayers were said in honor of the deceased, and shortly after they were laid to rest. Among those who died was a blind man.
Drove into the palace. In fact, one of the victims greeted me when I was driving in here. But alhamdulillah, he did not die. He didn't suffer any injury, that one.
Several others sustained injuries. Some of them were brought to this hospital in Busasa, where they are currently receiving medical treatment. The grief is palpable as the community mourns. The playing field outside the mosque has also served as a location for Durbar celebrations. The mosque's architecture itself narrates the story of the Emirates' history and resilience, blending traditional designs with Islamic influences. It has stood tall through shifting cultural tides, a proof of the unity and cultural identity it symbolizes. The devastating collapse has not just claimed lives, but has also shaken the very foundations of the community. The Emir, His Royal Highness Nuhu Bamali, says he was on an official assignment that fateful day.
It is very sad indeed. It's one of my saddest moments today. I was in Turawa in Sobat district to commission a new mosque. So I didn't pray in the central mosque here in Zaria.
He now carries the weight of mourning for his community. He joined the prayers for the souls of the lost worshippers, expressing regret over complaints of cracks in some of the mosque's pillars just few days before the tragedy.
While investigations are on, people who lost their loved ones like Nuruddin Haruna can only pray God to grant the deceased Al-Jannah to Firdaus. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Zaria.
To Kano State, where the National Emergency Management Agency has begun distribution of relief materials to households affected by flood disasters and the vulnerable. TVC News Kano correspondent Ibrahim Isa reports.
Kano has been flagged as one of the flood-prone states in Nigeria. The flood has for many years destroyed houses and farmlands, rendering many residents homeless. The federal government, through National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA), has since begun distribution of relief materials to 22,658 households affected by the 2022 flood disaster and to vulnerable groups in Kano State. NEMA's Director General, Mustafa Habib, witnessed the distribution in Kano in company of the State Deputy Governor, Amina Abdulsalam.
Approved this intervention specifically for people affected by the 2022 flood disaster and those classified as the most vulnerable persons across the country. You may recall the sad incident of 2022 flood disaster, which devastated many communities across the country, including here in Kano. I had the cause to personally visit some of these communities in Wudil and Warawa local government areas, where a number of people were displaced and their farmlands and crops completely inundated.
Thank the federal government for approving this intervention to the states, and we wish and pray that more of such interventions will come our way in Kano State.
The food items distributed included rice, beans, sorghum, vegetable oil, salt, tomato paste, and seasoning cubes. Non-essential items were also handed out, including mosquito nets, nylon mats, blankets, mattresses, plastic buckets, sets of cooking pots, toiletries, and a cooking stove, among others. NDLEA advised the beneficiaries to make proper use of the items to improve their socio-economic conditions and avoid selling them. Ibrahim Isa, TVC News, Kano.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested 3 illicit drug syndicates in parts of Lagos State. The NDLEA also arrested an alleged baroness and 4 other drug barons with multi-billion naira worth of cocaine, opioid, and others. This next report captures recent raids by the NDLEA in Lagos and 4 other states.
These raids are part of continuous efforts by the NDLEA to curb drug trafficking and use of illicit drugs. In a statement by the Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, operatives of the NDLEA recovered more than 2 million pills of tramadol during a search of one of the drug barons' residence and warehouse in Lagos. In another operation, the NDLEA officials dragged a drug syndicate to the Lekki-Ajah area of Lagos State, where a vehicle loaded with 8.49 kilograms of cocaine and 10.3 kilogram Canadian loud were intercepted. Elsewhere, the NDLEA operatives and officers of the Nigerian Army recovered more than 1,900 kilograms of illicit substance packed in bags in the warehouse of a wanted notorious drug dealer in Ado-Duota area of Ondo State. And in Nasarawa State, a 49-year-old man was arrested with possession of 64.8 kilograms of cannabis sativa in Doma local government area. 5 suspects were arrested in Ondo State in connection with the seizure and destruction of over 10,000 kilograms of cannabis sativa in Iju and Ala Forest in Akure. About 3 suspects were also arrested in Edo State. More than 13,000 kilograms of skunk were seized in recent raids across 4 states of Ogun, Ondo, Edo, and Nasarawa states.
Away from that now, the police in Ondo State have paraded a murder suspect for the alleged killing of his 45-year-old former lover in Akure. The police also paraded a 26-year-old photographer with 2 others for being in possession of human head in Ondo town. Ayodeji Moradio has more.
Ondo State Command of the Nigerian Police paraded 6 suspected criminals with different pathetic cases before journalists. One of the cases is that of a federal civil servant, Bankole Ogini, who killed his former lover at Danjuma area of Akure. The suspect, who invited the deceased to his father's house, allegedly killed the woman and removed her intestines.
We were able to trace the young man to his father's house. There and then, when they got there, they found the lifeless body of their mother with part of her body opened, intestines out, hot water poured on her body, and her legs were tied.
Ogini, who admitted killing the woman, said he was trying to rescue her when she slumped.
We were about kissing when she just go down. And the moment she just go down like that, I was helpless. I don't know what to do. That this lady has already put me into trouble. I first put her the cold water. I poured cold water on her body. I did not use a knife. What I used was a broken lower because it has become heavy. And the purpose of doing that is that because my parent was a very tough parent, and just to avoid the Nigerian police and my parents to know.
Another suspect paraded by the police is this 26-year-old photographer who also runs a boutique. His landlord challenged him for keeping a bag at a corner in the compound, after which he was forced to open it and his skull was found inside.
We saw a human skull in that same bag because the bag has a box and some other fetish things. He was handed over to the police and he confessed that it was given to him by a native doctor from Osun State.
When he now finished the work, he now called me that I should come and pick it. So that was around last year, November. So, and when I used it, he said I should be bathing with it every Thursday. When I used it for like a month, I didn't see anything, so I had to call him back that, sir, I need my money, this thing doesn't work and you should come and carry it.
Another suspect is a laborer arrested for killing a farm owner in the presence of his wife on the farm. Police spokesperson in the state said the suspect will be prosecuted after conclusion of investigation. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.
There'll be more